to my nightmare.
Put down that remote and call your bookie.
Place your bets.
Two of the biggest names in horror are about to do battle.
Jason's fighting Freddy. That is unbelievable.
Lots of blood, lots of fears, lots of screams.
Let's go.
Wait. Look.
Come to Freddy. These are my children, Jason. Go back where you belong!
And Jason is indiscriminate. He's just like a big, dumb shark. He's just out there killing. And Freddy has some finesse. Freddy wants to kind of enjoy it and kind of do these strange little nightmare constructs with his victims.
Don't worry about my little errand boy. The only thing to fear is fear himself.
I think my 8-year-old self would be really proud of me that I'm finally kicking the crap out of these guys.
People on set always scared me. I was a scaredy cat on the set.
Join us as we go behind the scenes of Freddy versus Jason.
The big guy's going down, I swear. Place your bets now.
Oh, hi. Welcome to E's behind the scenes of Freddy versus Jason. With 17 films and over 150 victims in the body count, two of horror history's most prolific killers finally get it on. See how it took over 20 years to get these two guys to meet.
Why won't you die?
We're here on the set of Freddy versus Jason. Notice who gets top billing for the 8th installment of a great Nightmare on Elm Street film. And this time I'm meeting my match with Jason Voorhees.
Jason's fighting Freddy. That is unbelievable. It's like these two giants of the horror movie world going head to head.
And I think people just love the fact that they're two of the worst villains in horror history ever, and the fact that they're gonna square off and they're gonna fight just totally intrigues people, and they want to see it.
Come on.
Freddy and Jason are pop horror icons. They've been around our culture for almost 20 years, and each of them has become a symbol of all those things that collectively we as teenagers and then as adults are afraid of, so that they are the sum total of our current pop boogeymen.
Before, I think New Line even got the idea, this sort of originated with the fans. I remember people coming up to me back in '84 and going, excuse me, Mr. England, sir, dude, you think you can kick Jason's ass?
Penny for your thoughts, Chief.
There's this great idea that in some kind of hellish purgatory, an impotent, weak Freddy, a Freddy that's been rendered weak over the last 7 sequels by the strong women warriors who continue, and his daughter who continue to diminish his powers.
Freddy lives on fear, so if people don't know about him, they can't fear him, therefore they can't be hurt by him.
Who is that? Someone there?
Not strong enough yet. I will be soon enough. Until then, I'll let Jason have some fun.
Freddy in hell find a good partner, which is Jason. And then he used tricks to trick Jason to come back to Elm Street and start killing people and create fear. The more fear he creates, the more powerful Freddy becomes. And so Freddy can come back into this world and start creating fear.
So I use Jason, who inhabits the real world, to begin a reign of terror so that everybody, you know, can get that their fear festering again, so that I can exploit it later.
Freddy basically brings Jason back from the dead to start killing people, and everybody in the town assumes that it's Freddy, which makes us fearful. And then Freddy has his power again, and he starts murdering people again. I live in the house where all these murders took place, and then a lot of the murders start happening to me and all of my friends, and this whole town sort of becomes infected with Freddy Krueger once again.
And the problem is I unleash a Frankenstein monster, and, you know, Jason, once he tastes blood, you know.
But Freddy also learned that Jason is not stoppable. He thought he can stop Jason.
And then Jason begins to poach on his territory, so Freddy has to go in and stop that. You know, he's sort of, you know, Jason's sort of taking over Freddy's favorite victims. And
Don't worry about my little errand boy. The only thing to fear is fear himself.
also, I think we sort of have the same victim world, you know. But both Jason and I go after those teenagers having sex. You know, we like, you know, have sex, Freddy gets you, or Jason gets you.
I played Jason Voorhees, and you know, Jason's just sort of a little misguided. I like to call him a psycho savant. You know, he lost his mom early. He's just, you know, been living out in the woods and under the lake for, you know, by himself. You know, no guidance, and he just, you know, he's just sort of following a mandate. You know, kill all those bad kids.
Jason is just like this silent killing machine. He didn't know, because, you know, he has this handicap, you know. Then all he knows is, okay, if my mom told me something is not right, then I'll do it right. But the means to do it right is wrong, by just killing all people, you know.
And it's strange because, I mean, you know, this guy's got a body count higher than mine. But Jason has at least some sort of backstory that makes him seem a little bit, you know, I mean, you know, after all, he's a serial killer, but he does have an abusive childhood. Right. You know, one of those, that old line, that old saw.
And that is the one thing that is from the original writer, but sort of like I elaborate a little bit more on like, you know, the little kid, the torment that he went through, you know, and sort of like the audience, you can see where Jason comes from. I think that is very important, you know, that you understand where he comes from.
Jason! Jason Voorhees!
And Jason is indiscriminate, you know, he's just like a big, dumb shark, you know, he's just out there killing. And, you know, Freddy has some finesse, you know, Freddy wants to kind of enjoy it and kind of do these strange little nightmare constructs with his victims, you know, he likes to finesse it there, you know. Freddy finds out what scares you. Freddy knows what's in your underwear drawer. Freddy knows the picture of the girl in your wallet. Freddy knows you don't like bugs. Freddy Freddy, if you have a disability, Freddy is the one that takes your crutch away. He's the one that cranks up the volume on your hearing aid. And I think audiences have always responded to that because he's so unapologetically evil, bad. Coming up on Behind the Scenes, we'll introduce you to a whole new batch of victims.
The idea of being, you know, working with Freddy and Jason, these two guys who'd given me nightmares and terrorized me my whole life.
I flushed way better looking things down the toilet. I mean, get real. You're not even scary.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes of Freddy vs. Jason. Now, what would a good horror movie be without the poor teenage victims? Oh, in the past, we've killed Johnny Depp, Patricia Arquette, Kevin Bacon. But in the new film, we've got a whole new list of casualties.
Freebird, come on! Come on, come on! What are you waiting for? Come on!
Freebird, tell me to go. We gotta go! Now! Come on!
Let me handle this.
I play Lori, who is the least likely action hero ever because I'm supposed to be this very quiet, subdued, virginal character. And then all these terrible murders start happening, and I kind of have to find my powers and take care of everybody, and I have this strength within me that I had no idea I was capable of having.
Look, Freddy has ruined both of our paths! I am not leaving until I see him die.
I wasn't a big fan of the movies at all, and I just kind of auditioned for it, and I did one scene, and at the end of my audition, the director said, just scream as loud as you can, and just imagine being so terrified, and I gave like a 2-minute scream, and they were like, you're it, you're cast. I guess I was predestined to play this role, kind of. I mean, I think my 8-year-old self would be really proud of me that I'm finally kicking the crap out of these guys.
Oh, she likes it on top.
Wake me up! Wake me up!
I play Will, who basically he's been in a mental institution for the last 4 years when the movie starts because he thought he saw his girlfriend's father kill his girlfriend's mother.
I tried to tell you this earlier. The reason I was sent to Weston is because I saw your dad kill your mom.
Oh, my mom died in a car accident.
No, that's what he wanted you to believe, but I was there, Laurie.
I was sneaking up to your room like I used to do, only you weren't there. I saw him kill her. And so at the beginning of this movie, he hears that there's been another murder in her house. And so him, along with his best friend, Mark, they decide to break out and go look for her because she's the most important thing to Will. Well, I saw in the news the other night, that kid that was killed at your house, I needed to know that you were safe. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody saw what happened, and the police have been acting really weird, like they know something, and I heard them mention some name, Freddy Krueger.
But just the idea of being, you know, working with Freddy and Jason, these two guys who'd given me nightmares and terrorized me my whole life.
I think you're so smart, huh, bitch?
Freddy vs. Jason actually kind of landed in my lap. I went out for the audition, and I think 2 hours later, my agent called me back and said, Kelly, you got the part. I play a character by the name of Kia. She's very mouthy. Kia is very sassy, and she's a worldly girl. She's very cool to be with, but don't step on her toes, because she can be a real diva. Action! It's so spontaneous, you know, that's what's really cool about horror movies is the fact that they're so spontaneous. And with this movie, everything is popping out at you, and you got Freddy having these silly little remarks. It's so funny.
Oh, sweet. Dark meat.
I mean, he was even doing it off camera. Robert Englund is great.
Kelly had these great lines. But that was the first night I worked with Kelly, and it was like 2 in the morning, and Kelly not only had to do pages of dialogue and diss me, you know, which is a little, you know, we've never met before, and she really goes after Fred. I mean, she insults my manhood.
So you're the one everyone's afraid of? I mean, come on, get real. You're not even scary. You're not even scary. And let's talk about the butter knives. What is with the butter knives? You trying to compensate for something? Maybe coming up a little short there, Mr. Krueger?
But she also had to walk backwards, and we had to keep this equal distance between us for the master shot. And then Kelly had to hit this other specific mark, walking backwards, because then it goes right into a stunt sequence. You know, it's sort of the Freddy Jason sandwich.
I mean, you got these teensy-weensy little things, and Jason has got this big old thing like...
Don't go away. We've got more madness from the set of Freddy vs. Jason when Behind the Scenes continues.
There are some parts where I was gagging for real.
So I just want to make sure that there's enough blood there to satisfy the horror, you know, audience.
We had Jason fully engulfed in flames over a 3-day period.
Welcome back to E's behind-the-scenes look at Freddy versus Jason. Well, you've already met the man behind the mask and the man behind the glove. Now let's meet the man behind the camera, director Ronnie Yu.
And action, Robert.
I spent 2 weeks. I intensified homework. I watched every single episode of the 2017 movie. But my job is to really just to turn up a notch from the cinematic point of view to make it more exciting, more entertaining.
He was really different than any director I've worked with because he was very into all the action scenes and stuff, and he had such crazy visions of everything that, like, it was impossible for me to visualize, but then I would see the playback and I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. How did he think of that?
I have a lot of respect for Ronnie, and he really brings the right sensibility to horror. He's like Wes Craven in that he loves the genre. He embraces it.
Oh, what's wrong, Laurie? Miss your wake-up call?
Cut. Great.
A guy and a girl actually met on the movie. A guy stuntman and a girl stuntman fell in love, and they were doing a doubling 2 of our kids, and they were doing a death scene. And I remember him screaming, "More blood! I need more blood! Die, you honeymoon couple! More blood!" I thought, this is the guy to direct Freddy versus Jason. This is the guy we need.
So I just want to make sure that there's enough blood there to satisfy the horror, audience.
Unfortunately, Ronnie's thirst for blood didn't rub off on the rest of the cast.
There are some parts where I was gagging for real. I don't know if any of that was caught on film, but there were some real nasty parts with guts and blood, and I just was sort of sitting on the sidelines going, okay, I can go through this without actually throwing up. It's making me sick thinking about it.
It did when I saw one disgusting body, like it was open and bloody and nasty, and I was just like, ugh. That kind of freaked me out, definitely.
We spent a lot of time actually in the makeup on set because, we would shoot like 14 hours a day, and we would have this horrible sticky blood all over us, and like we couldn't sit down, and we'd just have to be on our feet all the time, and it was freezing.
We've basically done the entire gamut of stunts. We have done firework. We had Jason fully engulfed in flames over a 3-day period. The wire work has just been phenomenal. I mean, we have sent these guys flying in every conceivable direction.
Up next on Behind the Scenes of Freddy versus Jason, it's showtime. So come on, place your bets.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome back to E's behind-the-scenes look at Freddy versus Jason. After nearly 20 years in the making, the 2 greatest horror villains of all time finally duke it out in a fight that would make even Don King proud.
Movie fans and fight fans of all ages, let's get ready to rumble!
It's not Freddy fights Jason, it's Freddy versus Jason. So there's a lot of mind game and a lot of manipulation, and Freddy's a lot smarter. I mean, Freddy says to Jason, you're big and you're dumb and you got no style.
Jason is obviously much bigger, much stronger than Freddy, but Freddy is much smarter than Jason.
And in reality, Freddy can't last very long with Jason. In the dream world, it's a whole different thing. Freddy's almost magical in the dream world, let alone the fact that he can exploit the flaws, the character flaws, and the fears of whoever he's dealing with in the dream world.
Like I always say, this is almost like the WWF thing, the wrestling match. You have 2 not so good guys up there on the ring, but you still want to root for one of them, because you want one of them to be more sympathized.
I know they reshot the ending, and I haven't even seen it. They won't even let me know how it ends and who wins. I'm just dying to know, but they shouldn't tell me because I think I would have to tell my friends. I think I would just have to.
That's all for Behind the Scenes. For more information, log on to www.freddyvsjason.com. And when the movie opens, check it out. See which one of the horror icons reigns supreme. Who could it be?
Join us again next week as we go behind the scenes with Kevin Costner in Open Range.
Sir Michael, you're getting up and backing and shooting and as we go away. Action! 2.
Button!
Very nice.